Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Vande Guru Nisha Bhakta, Nisha Nishavatarakan, Tat Prakasham Tat Shakti, Krishna Chaitanya Sangyakam, Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahoditau, गौरुदये पुष्पवनतौ चित्रौ सन्दौ तमोनुदौ पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् जयतां सुरतौ पङ्गोर्मम मन्दिरमतिर्गते मत्सर्वस्वपदाम्बोजौ श्रीराधामदनमोहनौ दिव्याद्वृन्दावनन्यकुल्पद्रुमात् श्रीमद्रत्नाङ्गरसिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद्राधाश्रीलगोविन्ददेवौ पृष्ठालीभिसेव्यमानौ स्मरामि श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटः ततस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुसुनेर्गोपैर्गोपीनाथः श्रीस्तुनः जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा एति न ठाकुर गौड़िया के करियाचे आत्मसात एति निरचरण वंदन तीने मोरनाथ ग्रंथिरारंभ करी मंगलाचरण गुरु वैष्णव भगवान तीनिर स्मरण होय विघ्न विनाशन अनायास सफल निज वांछित पुराण से मंगलाचरण है त्रिविध प्रकार वस्तु निर्देश आशीर्वाद नमस्कार नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देशतारिणे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, dear worshipful devotees, thank you so much for joining for reading Chaitanya Charitamrita Canto Adi Lila Chapter 7, entitled Lord Chaitanya and Five Features. So we are reading this section where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is responding to Sri Prakashananda Saraswati, and he's quoting his spiritual master that how his spiritual master gave him this powerful holy name, and how it is the essence of all these scriptures, how it is so powerful. All the glories, all these mantras, all these verses are basically talking about the importance of the holy name. So we'll continue from text 87. Prema swabhava kore chitta tanu shobha Krishnera charana prapte upajaya lobha. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. It is a characteristic of love of Godhead that by nature it induces transcendental symptoms in one's body and makes one more and more greedy to achieve the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Wow. So there are two types of greed. Greed for material things called Mrigatrishna, and there is greed for, or lobha, the word used is lobha. Or sometimes the word used is lolyam. Tatra lolyam ekam mulyam. There's only one mulya. Greed. Greed for Krishna. Hankering. When we need something like we really mean it, then Krishna starts to take us very seriously and sincerely. Like if someone is hankering for money, how much hard work they have to do, right? Years of education, decades of education, then, like listening to the bosses, the managers, we may not like it, working hard, 10, 12, 14 hours, going early morning, late night, so much hard work. Why? Mrigatrishna, or material greed, in short. But the same, same can be applied to spiritual. There's a joke. Has anyone ever seen like counting notes and falling sick? Oh, sorry, falling asleep, right? Counting notes, 100 rupee note or 1,000 rupee, whatever, 2000. Maybe now notes are used less, but at least still people count sometimes, right? Like say someone gave money or you're counting, or for any purpose. Still, I think people use some notes. Even if we're counting, sometimes bundles of notes, maybe in India, sometimes you're depositing big cash or something. Someone may have experience. Okay, you have to count 5 bundles, let's say. One, two, three, four, five, six. Has anyone ever fallen asleep? Have you heard, maybe you or your friend or your neighbor or your uncle fell asleep while counting notes? Never, ever. Right. Like so particular, like full absorption, consciousness. Not even one note should go extra to the person. If you have to give 45 notes, you'll give 45, not 46. No, it could be a loss. Hmm. No one has ever fallen asleep. But interestingly, when we are counting japa, right, I fall asleep. I'm talking about myself. Because there is lack of spiritual greed. But what to do? Keep trying, keep trying. You know, that's what the swabhava, the nature. What is the nature? Hmm? It is a characteristic of love of Godhead that by nature it induces transcendent symptoms in one's body and makes one more and more greedy to achieve. So if you connect it to the previous verse, in the previous verse we read that the hmm, prema tomai korila uday. The dormant love of God will awaken, right? Hmm. And dormant love of God, what it will do, it will make us more and more greedy to achieve lotus feet of Krishna. So it's cyclical. The more we chant holy name, the more love of God will awaken, the more intensely we'll be able to approach Krishna's lotus feet, and that will lead to further, let's say if we try to make this, so consider, chanting the holy name, then the impurities will go away, and then love of God will come, maybe capital G, and then take us to spiritual greed, Krishna's lotus feet, and it's cyclical, and then we'll be able to chant more sincerely. And this cycle, once we perfect, out of this world, back home, back to Godhead. And same is true for material cycle as well. In material life, what happens? The more we associate with bad people who are materialistic, right? Bad association, the more our material greed will increase, right? Hmm. Material greed, then more attachment to matter, house, car, this, that, position, name, fame, followers. Then more we'll associate with them. More. So it's a choice now. Whether we want to follow this material, Punarapi Jananam Punarap, and what will happen? Next life, maybe we'll born as some ant, cat, bat, fish, dog. Keep revolving in this cycle of birth and death. Now it's a choice. We want to go in this cycle or the previous cycle. Satam prasange mama virya samvido grihanti ritkarna rasayana katha तज्जोषणान् सवर्ग अपवर्ग वर्तमनि श्रद्धा रतिर bhaktir अनुक्रमश्यति. Shraddha ratir bhakti will come step by step when we take shelter of holy name, when we hear in association of devotees, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, when we chant with absorption. Krishna Prem will come. The more the material greed will go down, spiritual greed, more and more spiritual greed will come, like the Vrajavasis. There, to them, nothing else mattered than Krishna. Krishna was their life and soul. They would not exchange that good fortune for $100 billion. They will not give up one moment of Krishna's association for that. That's spiritual greed. Any other thoughts, comments? Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So the cycle you showed, I just had one Bengali lecture where Prabhuji was telling that Shaddo and Sadhun is the same for us. Like our sadhana is chanting. Ultimately, we reach to the prema to the chanting. Again, we keep chanting. So we take Hare Krishna Mahamantra not to get something different. We take Mahamantra more to go in deeper. So Sadhan is the same. That I like that word. And other things that Prabhuji mentioned, that going to in a lower species. Who we are here in the Bhagavatam class, I don't think so we are going to the lower species, right? We get some Shukriti.
And that was referring to the materialistic people, not to the Vaishnavas.
Okay.
Those who are in the materialistic cycle. That was for the for those who are running after bad association, after materialistic things. That's their destination.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing those points, Sadhya and
Sadhu.
chanting Sadhya and Sadhana. Any other comments anyone else has? Okay, we'll read the next verse, text 88. Anyone would like to read this? Yes, please, Mataji.
ভক্ত হাসে কান্দে গায় উন্মত্ত হইয়া নাচে ইতি অতিভয়. Translation by C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When one actually develops love of Godhead, he naturally sometimes cries, sometimes laughs, sometimes chants, and sometimes runs here and there just like a madman. Purport. In this connection, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami says that sometimes persons who have no love of Godhead at all display ecstatic bodily symptoms. Artificially, they sometimes laugh, cry, and dance just like madmen, but this cannot help one progress in Krishna consciousness. Rather, such artificial agitation of the body is to be given up when one naturally develops the necessary bodily symptoms. Actual blissful life manifested in genuine spiritual laughing, crying, and dancing is the symptom of real advancement in Krishna consciousness, which can be achieved by a person who always voluntarily engages in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. If one who is not yet developed imitates such symptoms artificially, he creates chaos in the spiritual life of human society. Back to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for reading this. So, again, the symptoms of someone who is in that prema, that love of Godhead. Unmatta, madman, like completely unmatta. What is he doing? Hase, nache, gaye, kande. He's crying sometimes, laughing, dancing. He is in his own world. Brahma Bhuta Prasanna Atma does not care for, he said, she said. He is in his own world. Right? Deha smritir nahi yaar. Usko देह की स्मृति नहीं है. He does not even think, he is not even cognizant about his own body, about his own any material designation, right? Iha yasya haridasya karmana manasa kira nikhilaswapi avastastu jivan mukta sauchyate. That person is jivan mukta. Even in this world, that person is jivan mukta. because that person cares nothing about matter. Matter does not matter, as we discussed the other day. What matters is the spirit soul, the spiritual, the connection, bhakti, Bhagavan, and bhakta. Matter does not matter. So these are some symptoms. They are so absorbed in. I was reading a short passage before this class. The persons who have low self-esteem, they care too much about, oh, he said this to me, oh, she said this to me, oh, he didn't appreciate me, oh, he said, oh, he is, he didn't praise me, or he does not value me. These are symptoms of low self-esteem. How can she say this? How can he say this? But, it's like, rise up. When we elevate our consciousness, when our connection with Krishna will be so deep and profound, he said, she said, he didn't say, she didn't say, will not matter. Will not matter. Because one's connection with the Supreme Lord. Often in the world, we are so caught up in the horizontal connections with we miss the vertical connection. But when we have strong vertical connection with Krishna, the horizontal connection will naturally blossom and will not be agitated in ups and downs, will not be disturbed. So here we see that iti uti dhai. Interestingly, this word is used for materialistic also. जीवेर लालसा ये इति उति धाय शिष्णोदर परायण कृष्ण नहीं पाए iti uti dhai, idhar udhar bhatak rahe, right? Everyone is running from morning to evening. The Bhagavatam says the birds get up and they have a question, where will I get the food from for my children? The day begins with question, ends with question. The birds are drinking water, looking iti uti, like no one should come to harm me. The deers are drinking water. Everyone, is basically running here and thither, here and there, right? But for what? Jivera lalasa. Shishnodara parana. Shishna and udara. Being a servant of their genitals and the belly. Right? Running for belly and running after genitals. Opposite sex, good food, good intoxication, good maybe drugs, casinos, movies, etc., etc. Shishnodara parana. Basically running after eating, sleeping, mating, defending. कृष्णा नहीं पाए, उसको कृष्णा प्राप्त नहीं होता. So now we have a choice whether we run iti uti dhai for Krishna or we run here and there for belly and genitals. Now that choice we have to make. The more we run for Krishna, dhaitava pache pache, right? That's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. Krishna se tumhara Krishna dite paro, tumhara shakti ache, right? I'm running after Krishna. Mata Yashoda is running after Krishna. She was running after Krishna, right? Sometimes runs here and there like a madman. Devotees are running. Prabhupada was running or moving with jet speed. Why? To catch the people, to bring them to the lotus feet or to Krishna. Now materialists are also running with jet speed, right? They also have private jets and big CEOs, and they are going where they're going, maybe Miami, Hawaii, and their private jet, and like basically eating, sleeping, mating, defending. So now we have a choice whether we run here and there for Krishna, then we'll get pure love. But if we run here and there just for Maya, then we'll just be running here and there in the material world. Again, these symptoms are not to be imitated. We have discussed that point many times, it will only lead to chaos. One should not artificially imitate these symptoms. It will lead to chaos in the society. Rather, a devotee, hides. Even if they have, they'll not like to show in public. This is their real wealth. Like in material world, no one wants to share their income in public, how much salary they get every month or every weekend, bi-weekly, whatever. Will a sober person like to openly broadcast it? No, maybe to the close confidential people, yes. So to the close confidential people, this can be discussed, but not in the masses, right? So one should not do such things. First of all, there are very few people who have this genuinely, and they don't want to make a show, but artificial, show bottle people, they want to get name fame. Oh, look, I'm such a great devotee. I'm crying for Krishna. I'm rolling in dust for Krishna. I'm like a madman for Krishna. So such show bottle stuff is not encouraged. Any other thoughts, comments anyone has? Okay, next verse. Yes, Shilpa Mataji, you want to read? Raise your hand.
Yes, Prabhuji, I wanted to try. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam, Hare Krishna devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Text 89-90. Sweda Kampa Romancha Saru Gad Gada Vaivaranya Unmada Visada Dhairya Garva Harsa Dainya Etha Bhave Prema Bhaktaga Nachaya Krishnera Anandamrita Sagara Bhasaya. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Perspiration, trembling, standing on end of one's bodily hairs, tears, flattering voice, fading complexion, madness, melancholy, patience, pride, joy, and humility. These are various natural symptoms of ecstasy, ecstatic love of Godhead, which causes a devotee to dance and float in an ocean of transcendental bliss while chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Purport: Sri Jiva Goswami in his Preeti Sandarbha 66 explains his stage of love, this stage of love of Godhead. Bhagavat Preeti Rupa Vrittir Mayadi Maya Na Bhavati Kim Tarhi Swarupa Sakhya Ananda Rupa Yad Ananda Paradhina Sri Bhagavan Apiti. Similarly, in 69th text, he offers further explanation. Tadevam Prithir Lakshanam Chitta Dravastasya cha Roma Harsadikam Kathanchi Jati Chitta Drave Roma Harsadika Vana Chedhasya Siddhis Tadapi na Bhaktis Samyavirbhava iti Jnapitam Asaya Shuddhir Nama Chanya Tatparya Paritya Priti Tatparyam cha Atha Evani Mitta एवानिमित्त स्वभाविकी चेत् तद् Visheshanam. Transcendental love of Godhead is not under the jurisdiction of material energy, for it is the transcendental bliss and pleasure potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Since the Supreme Lord is also under the influence of transcendental bliss, when one comes in touch with such bliss in love of Godhead, one's heart melts, and the symptoms of this are standing of the hairs on end, etc. Sometimes a person thus melts and manifests these transcendental symptoms, yet at the same time is not well behaved in his personal transactions. Should I continue, Prabhuji?
Yeah, just
Okay.
a few lines are left. You can
Okay.
come.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. This indicates that he has not yet reached complete perfection in devotional life. In other words, a devotee who dances in ecstasy, but after dancing and crying appears to be attracted to material affairs, has not yet reached the perfection of devotional service, which is called asaya shuddhi, or the perfection of existence. One who attains the perfection of existence is completely averse to material enjoyment and engrossed in transcendental love of Godhead. It is therefore to be concluded that the ecstatic symptoms of asaya suddhi are visible when a devotee's service has no material cause in purely spiritual and is purely spiritual in nature. These are characteristics of transcendental love of Godhead as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.6. Savai punsam paro dharma yato bhaktir adoksaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. That religion is best which causes its followers to become ecstatic in love of God, that is unmotivated and free from material impediments, for this alone can completely satisfy the self. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for giving an opportunity to read beautiful shloka. I'll share two sentences, Prabhuji, and leave it to you. You'll explain even more beautifully. So it looks like two types. It looks like this sloka is an extension to what Mataji and you were explaining about a transcendental nature of a devotee. When a devotee is placed in that transcendental consciousness, it's detailed out here. Prabhupada is detailing out, and the reference also quoted here, and in multiple ways that a devotee will express without him knowing that he is expressing. But when the devotee is not completely in the term is used, should siddha. If he's not completely, then he will again, that devotee will again identify himself in the material, and then he would come out of that transcendental ecstasy. That is what I understood, Prabhuji. But if a devotee is completely in, then he wouldn't come back. Eventually, one who loves God, they will come back, go to that level. We have to do sadhana. And yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, please correct.
Ji, for reading this nice verse. In the Mangal Aarti prayers also we see this Romanchakam Pashrutaranga Bhajo Vande Guru Shri Charanaravind. So Romancha, Kampa, Ashru, all these, right? trembling, hair standing on end, perspiration, ashru, crying tears of love of God, not of hey, I lost my job, tears, I lost my, you know, lost in a tournament or something, right? Or he said this to me. So not those tears of, separation of love. Got it? Mm. Gada gada, faltering. Mm. Nainam ashru galadharya vadanam gad gad hrudayagira. Right? So gad gad. Mm. Varnya. Changing of bodily color. Unmada. Unmada, this word has come like multiple times here. Unmada, like a mad elephant. So this word is used for elephant. Mad in intoxication, right? It's also used for intoxicated, right? But not here. We're not talking about some intoxication by some substance. It is, as Prabhupada said, it's what is, someone asked him, hey, some was, what is spiritual world? He was directed to LSD. Prabhupada said it's ocean of LSD, where you stay high forever. There's no coming down. Mm, mm, mm. Dhairya, Garva, Harsha, Dainya, all these symptoms, humility, joyfulness, pride, patience, Eta bhave prema bhakti ganera nachai. So causes one to dance for the love of God, transcendental bliss, right? They're always floating. Sagara bhashai, bhasaya. They're always immersed. Iti Diksvalila kunde Swagosham Nimajjantam Akhyapayantam. Lord Krishna inundates everyone in the ocean of bliss by his transcendental pastimes. Swalila bhir Ananda kunde, Anand ke kunde mein, Amrita Sagara, Amrita Sagara, similar words, right? So this is pure devotee. Pure devotee, always in that state, always. But sometimes neophytes may be in that state for moments, right? But then again attracted to materialistic affairs. That means what? That means they have not reached perfectional stage. So what to do? That means we need more strong dose, more strong dose. The medicine is working, but we are taking in small dose, so it works for small time, little time. We need to intensify the dosage of Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtan, Bhagavad Shravana, Japa, reading, hearing. Then naturally we'll be more attracted to Krishna and less to Maya. So our Krishna consciousness, will gradually go up, and our material consciousness will gradually come down, and pure devotees are basically, if you consider this as time or consciousness, and this is time. So pure devotees are here, 100% Krishna consciousness and 0% Maya, right? They're not. So now we know where we are, which state we are, 50-50 or 10-90 or 20-80 or 90-10. We all know our combinations better than anyone else. So the more we do, the more we'll be absorbed in bhakti. The more we'll be happy. Krishna consciousness means happiness. The more we will, which causes a devotee to dance and float in the ocean of transcendental bliss while chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Wow. We can meditate upon this ocean of transcendental bliss, floating in the ocean of transcendental bliss. Such beautiful poetic words to explain to someone. floating in the ocean of transcendental bliss, eternal happiness. This is what Hare Krishna mantra, this is the potency, this is the fruit, this is the sadhana, as Prabhu said, sadhana and the sadhya. It is the goal and the process, both. Any comments, any thoughts, questions?
So, Prabhuji, that was mentioned by Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Harinam Chintamani.
Very good. Thank you for the reference, Prabhuji. Okay, I think we have time to read maybe one or two more. Let's see. 91. Anyone for 91?
Prabhuji, I can try.
Sure. Mataji.
भला हेला पहले तुम्ही परम पुरुषार्थ तुम्हारा प्रेमेते आम्ही हेला न करतार्थ. Translation: It is very good, my dear child, that you have attained the supreme goal of life by developing love of Godhead. Thus, you have pleased me very much, and I am very much obliged to you. Purport: According to the revealed scriptures, if a spiritual master can convert even one soul into a perfectly pure devotee, his mission in life is fulfilled. Srila Bhakti Siddhant Saraswati Thakur always used to say, even at the expense of all the properties, temples, and mathas that I have, if I could convert even one person into a pure devotee, my mission would be fulfilled. It is very difficult, however, to understand the science of Krishna. What to speak of developing love of Godhead? Therefore, if by the grace of Lord Chaitanya and the spiritual master a disciple attains the standard of pure devotional service, the spiritual master is very happy. The spiritual master is not actually happy if the disciple brings him money, but when he sees that the disciple is following the regulative principles and advancing in spiritual life, he is very glad and feels obliged to much an advanced disciple. So, Prabhuji, what I understand from this is that our purpose in life should be to become a pure devotee and at least try to attain to become a pure devotee. And even if we can influence others, and even if one person joins to the mission of, believing in Krishna or believing in the spirituality, then Krishna is very happy with the efforts that we have made. And I really like the last sentence that says that I am like obliged one, the sentence, if you can go back there. Yeah, I am very much like when it says that you, thus you have pleased me very much, and I am very much obliged to you. I mean, saying it from the point that God is obliged to us is a very big thing. Back to you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Who is speaking this to whom? Anyone recalls?
So, Mahaprabhu speaking to Pakananda Saraswati.
Okay.
Ishwar Puripad speaking to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Ishwar Puripad,
sorry.
Yes. Mahaprabhu is actually speaking, but he is talking, but he is referring what his guru told to him. So here the child, right, as mentioned here, he's using the word child, my dear child. So the child here is Mahaprabhu. And who is speaking? Who is saying this? It is very good. Bhala hoila. Bahut bhala. Khub bhala. Right? That you have attained What? Parama Purushartha. What is that? Love of God. Tomara Primete. By development in love of Godhead, you have attained the topmost thing. And by you attaining that, I am so obliged. So the Guru feels obliged to the disciple. This is the humility. The Guru does not think, oh, look at me. I'm such a great Guru. I'm the one who gave this to you. I'm the one. No, he's even Prabhupada, if we see, he's always saying, I'm so grateful to all of you, referring to his disciples, that you helped me to fulfill the order of my spiritual master. You are so great. Srila Prabhupada mentioned in the story of Dhruva Maharaj in the purport the same point here. He says, when Mother Suniti and Dhruva, so when Suniti also goes back home, back to Godhead, because Dhruva asked for it, right? Dhruva was ready to go back, and Dhruva's asked, hey, do you have any thoughts, questions, or any desires? He said, well, what about my mother? She was the one who guided me to go to the forest and worship Lord Vishnu. And Dhruva was told, hey, look at the other Vaikuntha Airlines next to you. It's ready. She's already seated, right? She's already going back home, back to Godhead. So Prabhupada, out of his great humility, says, I don't have any qualification like Dhruva to go back home, back to Godhead. But I am hoping, I'm praying, maybe one of my disciple will become a pure devotee. And he will basically, say, oh, please, help my guru too. That he's the one who guided me. So this is the humility of a great soul. He never thinks, Ekaki amar nahi paya bala. He never thinks, oh, by my strength, as mentioned here, oh, I am by numbers, Krishna is not happy. It could be numbers in anything, right? Here, Prabhupada gives the example of fundraising. Someone could say, oh, I have collected $100,000 for the temple, so I deserve to go back home back. Or have distributed 10,000 books, so I deserve. Or have distributed 10,000 plates of prasad. Or I have memorized 10,000 verses. Or, I have given classes to 10,000 people. Will Krishna be impressed by that? Those are all nice things. And we're not saying not to do those things. But Krishna and Guru and Vaishnavas are more impressed by the purity of consciousness. Right? In what manner are we doing those activities? In what manner are we trying to serve the lotus feet of Guru and Krishna with humility, with patience, with respect? Then those services distributing anything connected to Krishna, whether it's fundraising, whether it's prasad, or books and yatras and lectures and verses and opening temples and this and that, everything becomes wonderful if done in the right mood and consciousness as always being a humble servant of the Lord. Then the pure devotional state, and then the Guru is very happy. Right? The spiritual master is not happy if the disciple just brings money and he sees the disciple is not following regulative principles. Basically, not following the Bhakti Yoga process. Will any father, mother like that their son or daughter, maybe they are earning $1 million, but they don't have any values in their life. They're doing all wrong things. Will any mother, father like? They cheat others, they loot others. They have a big mansion and a lot of money, but they don't have any values. They don't care and respect sadhus. They are very unkind. They don't have zero mood for charity or generosity. They're always puffed up with pride. Will any mother, father like it? No. Similarly, the Guru, as Srila, we are quoting here Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, when he noticed that even in the mutt there was, marble was arranged in the mutt, and marble was rare at that time. Like we're talking about at least 100 years back, or right, marble was rare. So Ultatanga, if you go now also, the Bagh Bazaar Mandir, I was fortunate to go there last time. It's a nice Godiya mutt uh, near I think a little bit of north side of Kolkata. So we noticed that the disciples were fighting over, oh, I'll take this room, I'll take that room. He didn't like it. He said, better we sleep on the like normal, like on the sand or on the floor, and distribute literatures or print literatures, and do harinam, etc. Like rather than you're getting attached to, this is my room, this is larger room, that's. So sometimes in this happens in the path of bhakti. We come here for pure devotional service, but sometimes the nature of Maya is so strong, we may lose the focus, and we may run after temporary short-term things: respect, name, fame, recognition, position, power, he said, she said. And when we lose that life is so small, we are here to attain the pure lotus feet of the Lord. All the other things are very temporary. Kamala dala jala jivana tala mala. Hmm. I was talking to my sister-in-law. She said her colleague, 36 years old, very health enthusiast, very healthy, nice gentleman, 36. Like imagine his wife was pregnant with a baby like 3 or 4 months, you know, is and suddenly out of, like a little bit chest pain, and he was healthy, he was eating good food and doing exercise and this and that, but no one knows what happened, how it happened, and he passed away. Kamala Dalachal. So this is not to scare anyone, but this is to realign ourselves, to always keep the main thing the main thing. And the main thing is Krishna's lotus feet. And the barometer of success of this life, mm, the barometer of success of this life, we're talking about spiritual life. We're not talking about materialistic life. The materialistic life, their barometer of success is money. How much money one has, how much degrees one has, how much position one has. But no one cares. This is the artha in this world is anartha in the spiritual world. Like that currency doesn't work. No one is going to talk about how much income we had, what position in the spiritual world. Is not about position, is gopir bhartur pad kamalay or das anudas. So the artha, um, the real value, the real barometer of success is how much attachment we have towards Krishna's lotus feet, towards Harinam, towards serving in a selfless, pure, humble way. That's real barometer. The more we get it, the more we'll be happy, the more our life will be successful. Rest all is going to be here only. Any thoughts, comments on this beautiful verse? Anyone has any additions, questions? Okay, so I think we will continue the next verse tomorrow. It's a longer purport, so we'll read it tomorrow since it's 9 p.m. Prem Sankirtan Prabhu, you have any closing comments?
Just one little comment on the previous verse, not that one. If you look at Prabhupada in the purport, that Prabhupada, after Srila Jiva Goswami's verses, Prabhupada said, transcendental love of Godhead is not under the jurisdiction of material energy, for it is the transcendental bliss and pleasure potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. See here, actually, in a hidden way, Prabhupada is saying that pleasure potency, who is the pleasure potency of Krishna, is Radharani, Haladini Shakti. And Prabhupada is saying that since the Supreme Person, Lord is also under the influence of transcendental bliss, when one comes in touch with such bliss in love of God at one's heart smell, and the symptoms of this are standing on here on end, etc. So Prabhupada is mentioning here, and if you look at Srila Jiva Goswami's verse, he's saying that Sharup Shakti Ananda Rupa. If you remember that verse, Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikriti Haladini Shakti Rashmat in the Mangalacharan, and Radhika when Krishna Pranay Vikar Sharup Shakti Haladini Namja. So it's kind of like all these symptoms actually, those came from Srimati Radharani. And I was just thinking, because we finished the 10th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, and if you remember the chapter where Krishna sent Srila Uddhav Maharaj to Vrindavan to give his message to all the Brajavasis, in that part where that conversation of Radharani with the Brahmar, you will see all these things. I was thinking that how that pride was mentioned here. We can see the other features like body hair, tears, faltering voice. Even Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur's that Kirtan, Kobe hobe bolo shedino amar aparado guchi. In that Kirtan also all these symptoms are he mentioned, but pride was not mentioned. So we can see that pride little bit there when Radharani was telling that Brahmar that you go tell your Krishna that I'm not anymore have connection with him. So all these symptoms actually we can see that in Radharani's picture. In Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's consideration, actually Mahaprabhu also actually all these symptoms we saw that. There is a one verse, Sri Radhikaro Bhav Joiche Uddhav Darshane Shei Moto Pralap Chesta Prabhu Ratri Dine. It means Mahaprabhu was, but we see that pride, before he took sannyas, he was chanting the name of the gopis. He was saying that now I'm not going to take the name of Krishna's name. I'm going to chant Gopi Gopi. And if you remember that pastime where one student said, why you chant Gopi? Why don't you chant Krishna? And Mahaprabhu actually came up with a stick to beat him. I don't know whether all of you remember that pastime. And that person became very angry and he went to the other students and said that Nimai Pandit became mad and he wanted to beat me. So Mahaprabhu then stated that, okay, I wanted to give them the medicine, but it looks like it actually caused more poison. So I should take sannyas. I mean, that is one of the external reason. So there he showed some pride among those features. So I just wanted to share that. Sorry.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Please, thank you for sharing those thoughtful comments.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanvat from one question, kind of follow-up, was so Hladini Shakti from Srimati Radharani, all these are coming, right? All the from the pleasure potency, all the.
I mean, all these symptoms,
Ecstatic.
she is the reservoir of all these symptoms. That's why, I mean, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, if you remember 2 bars before, he was saying, Prabhupada put that in the purport, that we should not imitate those things, because those are not like material things. Those are transcendental. Transcendental means it's dibya. It's those, I mean, it's not conceivable to us. That's my understanding. Radharani is the reservoir of all these different symptoms. Even Shikshashtaka, Prabhu was chanting that verse, Nayanang Galodosru Daroya, Badanang Gadagada Ruddaya Gira, Puloriko Nichitang Bopu Koda, Tavanam Grahane Bhavishyati. In that verse also, Nayanang Galodosru Daraya, Osru is coming, and then Badanang Gadagada, that faltering voice. Then Puloriko Nischitam, Pulok means standing on the end here. So so it's like, so those parts towards those parts actually Srimati Radharani's parts, like last verse she was saying that's Aslishova Padaratang Pinustumam Adarshana Marmahatang Karutuba Jathatata Vidodhatuba Lampoto Mat Pranonathastu Shaibunapara. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, in Mahaprabhu's word, he was saying at that end, এই শ্লোকের হয় অতি অর্থেরও বিস্তার, সংক্ষেপে করিয়ে তার নাহি পাইবার। আমি কৃষ্ণ পদদাসী তেহরস শুকরাশি আলিঙ্গিয়া করে আত্মসাৎ। কিবানা দেন দর্শন জারেন আমার তনুমন, তবু তেহ মোর প্রাণনাথ। Sri Radharani is saying that I am Krishna's eternal servant. I don't care he gives me darshan or he doesn't give me darshan. Is he embrace me or not embrace me? I am his. So here we can see the humility. How much humility? I mean, she is the supermost, topmost devotee, and she is saying, so we can see those as she is the reservoir of all these symptoms. So that's what she's saying. We can see the humility here. Even in that pastime in Krishna Lila, when Uddhav Maharaj came, Radharani was so humble towards the end. She was saying, oh, no, I said so bad thing about Krishna. I mean, she was so humble. I mean, I think I read that chapter. If you read that chapter, you will see that all these things are there in she's expressing those things.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu also, the symptoms.
Yes, excellent, Mataji. Excellent. Actually, I forgot to tell. Bhakti Mit Sindhu Srila Rupa Goswami mentioned all this. Yes, you are right.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you. Sankirtan Prabhu and Shilpa Mataji. Okay, so we'll pause here and continue tomorrow. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai, Pancham Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha, Pitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Prabhuji.
Dandavat pranam.